WordPress widgets are modular blocks of content that you can add to your website without knowing how to code. Now, this is a very powerful concept that also happens to be easy to use. Let's get into WordPress and I'll show you how widgets work. You'll find widgets under the Appearance menu, Widgets, and this is the main widget page, and it's divided into two sections that you need to know about. Over on the left, you've got a list of available widgets. These are the blocks of content that you can add to a widget area. Example, you've got a list of archives or a list of categories. You can add a custom menu. Over on the right, you've got a list of widget locations. These are the places in your theme that support widgets. And these widget locations will vary from theme to theme. So it really depends on what theme you're using. And to figure out where the widget area is, usually there's a description below the title of the widget area that should be self-explanatory. It isn't always self-explanatory. Some theme designers do a better job of explaining this than others. You may need to do a little bit of experimentation with your widget areas to figure out exactly where each widget location is on your theme. Now, usually it's a sidebar, and these areas are usually called sidebar areas, but that's sort of misleading because, as you can see in this theme that I'm using, 2014, there are widgets in the footer, and sometimes you've got widgets in the header, and sometimes you may have page templates that have widgets as well. You could have widgets on your home page. It's a very powerful way to add content to various areas of your website without having to code it. So let me add some widgets so you can see how this works. I'm going to add an archive list, and you'll see when I drag the widget over, it opens up, and I've got some settings, and this is my opportunity to customize how my widget displays content on my website. Now, you could go with the defaults, and it would probably look fine, but here I'm given an opportunity to add a title, and most widgets have a title, and that allows you to write some customized text that will appear over whatever it is that the widget is displaying. In this case, it's showing a list of the archives with links to archive pages for back issues of my website. So I'm going to customize that and click Save. When you customize the settings on a widget, you need to be sure to save them so that WordPress will remember your setting. And for the content sidebar, I'm going to go ahead and add a category widget. And let me show you another way to position these widgets. If I click on the category widget, I get this little drop-down menu that shows me all of the available widget locations. And instead of dragging and dropping, I can go ahead and select the widget area where I want this to appear and click Add Widget. And you'll see it's added to that sidebar area. The reason they've done this is you may not have a mouse. You may be working on a touch screen device like a phone or a tablet. And this way of selecting the location actually works better when you're on a touch screen. And since the WordPress admin is now responsive, it works on any device. So that's another way that you can position your widget. And then in the footer area, I'm going to add a form. And I happen to have Gravity Forms installed. Gravity Forms is one of those plugins that creates a widget. And so I'm using this Gravity Forms widget to insert a contact form in my footer, and I've created this contact form previously using Gravity Forms. So now I've got archives in my primary sidebar, I've got categories in my content sidebar, and I've got a contact form in my footer. Now let's take a look at the website and see what this looks like. And so you'll see here on my site using 2014, I've got my archive list with back issues. That's the custom title that I gave it. It's appearing on the left sidebar below my main menu. And then over on the right, I've got in the content sidebar, I've got categories. If I scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see there's my contact form in the footer, just where I put it. Now there's one thing I want to show you, one quirk of widgets that you need to be aware of. I'm using the 2014 theme, but if I switch to another theme, say I switch to 2013, and if we go to the widget area for 2013, you'll see 2013 has different widgets. And in fact, I've used 2013 on this site previously, and WordPress has remembered what widget I had positioned in the widget area. That's nice. It means that if I change themes and change back, WordPress will remember how I've positioned my widgets. The bad news is that you lose your widget positioning when you move to another theme. And so if I go reload my website with the new theme, this is an entirely different theme with entirely different widget areas. So I would need to find the widgets that I had positioned and figure out where they need to go on the new website. So that's something to be aware of. Now, when I scroll down, you'll see there's this Inactive Widgets header. And underneath that, you'll see there's my back issues, and there's my categories, and there's my Contact Us. So these are 3 widgets that I was just using on the other theme that are not supported by the current theme because these widget locations that I position these in no longer exist. So if you switch to a theme that has different widget areas and you're looking for your widgets, just scroll down on this page and you'll find them under Inactive Widgets. And then you can position those widgets to an appropriate widget area on your new theme. And then the nice thing is that when I switch back to 2014, you'll see that WordPress has remembered those widgets in the appropriate widget area. So I don't have to worry about losing them. All I have to do is just switch back to the original theme that I was using, and everything is right where I left it. So now that you've seen how easy widgets are to use, you'll probably want to start using a lot of widgets. And you should know where to find widgets. And these are the places you can go to look for widgets. Obviously, there are widgets that are built into WordPress just right out of the box when you install WordPress. There are a whole bunch of widgets on that widget page. You don't need to do anything. They're just there automatically. Also, WordPress plugins are the most common way to install widgets. If you go to the plugin screen and go Add New and search, you can search for whatever kind of widget you're looking for and add the word widget to your search phrase, you'll find some results for it. There's a pretty good chance there are widgets for everything. And those are installed as plugins. That's the common way to install a widget, is as a plugin. And also, you should be aware that themes have the ability to add widgets too. Sometimes you will install a theme and you'll get a whole bunch of new widgets that come along with that theme. And the nice thing about those is that they are usually styled to work just right with your theme. So you don't need to tweak CSS to make things look right. They're going to look really good. And so that's how you use widgets in WordPress.